greater Tamil heritage known as Tamilagam and southern coastal Karnataka. Later, Kerala's culture was elaborated upon through centuries of contact with neighboring and overseas cultures. Native performing arts include Kudiyattam, Kathakali, Kerala Nadanam, Kuthu, Tullal, Padayani and Theyyam. The Theyyam or Theyyattam is a popular ritual dance of North Kerala, particularly presented in the Kannur and Kasaragod districts. The term Theyyam is a correct form of Deyyam or God. People of these districts consider Theyyam as a god and they seek blessings from Theyyam. The Theyyam ritual dance is exclusively performed by the male members of the traditional caste groups like Vannan, Malayan, Velan, Mavilan, Pulayan and Koppalan. These sections belong to the scheduled caste and tribes. Shri Muttappan is believed to be the personification of two divine figures, Thiruvappana and Vellattam. Fundamentally, the dual divine figures, Thiruvappana and Vellattam, are not different from the Theyyam Kaliyattam of North Malabar. Though Shri Muttappan represents a single god, it represents two godly figures, Vishnu with the fish-shaped crown and Shiva a crescent-shaped crown. Shri Muttappan as a Theyyam is performed year-round, whereas other Theyyams manifests as the presiding god, dances and utters like the god. The dancer, along with the drummers, recite the particular ritual song which describes the myths and legends of the particular shrine or the folk deity to be propitiated. This is accompanied by the playing of folk musical instruments like chenda, kuel, and vikni are played with rhythm. Then the dancer circumambulates the shrine, runs in the courtyard and dances. The Theyyam dance has different steps known as kalasams. Each kalasam is represented systematically from first to eighth step of footwork. A performance is a combination of playing of musical instruments, vocal recitation, dance, and strange makeup and costumes. During the ritual dance, the dancer possesses the powers to solve the problems of the devotees and he announces solutions. The 2-hour ceremony culminates with the peak stage where the Theyyam, the performer, transforms himself as a deity and devotees are called one after one to listen to their grievances or demands. After hearing, solutions are prescribed. There are 3 stories of the Parashinikada Muttappan which goes as follows. The Naduvai or the landlord Ayangara Illathu Vayunavar was unhappy as he had no child. His wife Padukutti Andarjanam was a devotee of Lord Shiva. She offered several things as a sacrifice to God Shiva. One day, in her dream, she saw the Lord. The very next day, while she was returning after a bath from a nearby river, saw a pretty child lying in a flower bed. She took the child home and brought him up as her own son. The boy used to visit the jungle nearby their house for hunting with his bow and arrow. He would take food with the poor and with the backward communities. As these acts were against the Nambutiri way of life, his parents earnestly requested him to stop this practice. But the boy turned a deaf ear to their warnings. Ayangara Vayunavar became very disappointed. One day, the boy went to his parents and shown his parents his divine form with bow and arrow and fiery eyes. His parents understood that the boy was not an ordinary child but a god. They prostrated in front of him and he blessed them. The god started journey from Ayangara. The natural beauty of the Kunnathur stopped him from his journey. He was attracted by the toddy of palm trees. Chandan, a toddy trapper who was illiterate and uncivilized, knew of his toddy being stolen from his palm trees every day. So he thought of guarding his palm trees. While he was keeping guard at night, an old man was found stealing toddy from his palms. He got very angry and tried to shoot the old man using his bow and arrow. While he was about to aim an arrow at him, he fell unconscious. Chandan's wife, who came there seeking for her husband, saw him lying unconscious. She cried broken-heartedly. When she looked up, she saw old man at the top of the palm tree. She called Muttappa, as if addressed to a grandfather. She earnestly prayed to God to save her husband. Before long, Chandan regained consciousness. She offered boiled grams, slices of coconut, burnt fish and toddy to the Muttappan. Even today, in Shri Muttappan temples, the devotees are being offered boiled grams and slices of coconut. She sought benediction from him. Muttappa chose Kunnathur as his residence at the request of Chandan. This is the famous Kunnathur Padi. After spending some years at Kunnathur, Shri Muttappa decided to get more favorable place as his residence so that he could fulfill his aim of reincarnation. He shot an arrow upward from Kunnathur. The shaft reached at Parashini, where the famous Parashini temples reside now. There is another story which goes that as a boy, Muttappan was very rebellious. He was a great hunter and would skin the animals that he killed and wear their skins as clothes. One day, he came across a coconut tree that was being tapped for toddy. The liquor fermented from the coconut sap. He climbed the tree and emptied the jar that was holding the toddy. When the toddy tapper returned and saw Muttappan, he immediately challenged him. Muttappan turned the man to stone for daring to address such a powerful god in this manner. During performances of Muttappan Theyyam, the performer consumes the toddy liquor and passes it around to the spectators. Hence, the Muttappan breaks the temple rules by allowing alcohol into temple grounds. The only place you can be absolutely guaranteed a glimpse of this Theyyam is the village of Parashinikadavu, 20 kilometers north of Kannur, where the head priest or Madayan of the Parashini temple performs every day before the assembled devotees. This magnificent temple believes in the principle of secularism. People, irrespective of their caste, creed and religion, can come to this temple to pray. The motto of this temple is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means the whole world is one family. It is located on the banks of the Valapatnam river and provides a visual treat to anyone visiting the temple. Shri Muttappan is always accompanied by dog. Dogs are considered sacred here and one can see dogs in large numbers in and around the temple. You can see two bronze carved dogs at the entrance of the temple to symbolize the trustworthiness of bodyguards of God. When the prasad is ready, it is first served to a god that is always ready inside the temple. Few years back, temple authorities decided to reduce the number of dogs inside the temple. They took some dogs and puppies away from the temple and left them alone. Surprisingly, from the day onwards, while Shri Muttappan Theyyam was performed, the performer was not able to do that. Actually, once the performer finishes Theyyam dressing, the spirit of Shri Muttappan enters his body and the performer becomes God till the Theyyam performance is finished. Since the dogs was taken away from the temple, Shri Muttappan do not enter Theyyam performer's body. Knowing this, the dogs were brought back to the temple. From that very day onwards, Theyyam performance was as usual. The deity is in a hunter's attire. The bow and arrow are held.
I
Murugan is a dear god to all people, not only of God's own country but many round the globe. Let's conclude with the temple's motto Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.